Good evening and welcome. It looks like I'm doing Hammer House of Horrors. Good evening and welcome into my live. Now it is 7 o'clock at night here in the UK, and as you can see, it is pitch black outside. So I've got all my lamps and things on, but that does make me look like I'm in a horror movie. So not my best light, I admit. But welcome. My name is Helen Jennings. I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator based here in the UK, and today is Catalogue launch day. So I haven't had the chance to come on before now today because I've had a very busy day being nanny, being grandma. My grandson doesn't start back to school until tomorrow, so I stepped in and we've had a lovely fun day, including doing some crafting with shaving foam and ink reinkers. So that was great fun. Yeah, so this has been the first opportunity, hi Molly, that I've had to come on live with the new catalogues. So I thought I would do that this evening. So I have nothing particularly prepared. We're just going to have a little look at the new catalogues and what's in there, and who knows, we might even manage a bit of a play. We'll see how we go. So let me move this camera over, and hopefully the downward facing cameras won't look quite so scary. So this is me, www.loveaduckie.co.uk. This is the first opportunity I've had, or the first time I've come on since before Christmas. And over Christmas, I did do a little bit of tweaking to my website, but it is all back up and running now. So you can find links to my shop, links to the new catalogues, details about upcoming classes, all of those sorts of things, paper shares, ribbon shares, all of that information is all up and live on my website at www.loveaduckie.co.uk. So do head on over there to find out more information, more inspiration. As I say, there's not been very much go up over the Christmas period. I did take a good 10 days, 2 weeks off over that Christmas period to rest, recuperate, eat too much, ready to come back. So this is also my first opportunity to wish you all a very happy new year and lots of crafty fun in the 12 months to come. So let's move that out of the way and let's bring in the stars of today's show. So up until now, I have been able to flash these catalogues at you. What I haven't been able to do is show you the insides. So from today, the new January to June mini catalogue has launched, and the celebration promotions. So the celebrations will run from today until the end of February. So you've got these next few weeks to benefit from everything that's in that little book, and we will look at that one in a little bit more detail in a little while. Let's concentrate first on this one, and straight away you can see from that cover we've got windmills, we've got tulips, we've got spring colours. On my post that I put up earlier on Facebook and Instagram, I said about springing into your creativity, and this catalogue certainly is going to enable you to do that. Now, before we start looking, I am going to put a bit of a disclaimer out there. Now, we are all very tired of hearing that COVID word, but obviously it's had huge implications across the world, not only in terms of people's health and people being poorly and all of those sorts of things, but it has led to supply chain issues and shipping crises and all of those sorts of things for a variety of reasons. Some of it is about staff sickness and there not being enough people in the factories and things to produce things quickly enough. Some of it is about getting hands on raw materials. That has been quite a challenge. And some of it is about shipping. It's about moving things from one place to the other. And all of these things build up and have a huge impact. And we know that it has an impact in our supermarkets, in other places where we are buying things and shopping for things, that there are these problems getting our hands on things. Now, unfortunately, Stamping Up are not immune to that totally. Now they are working very hard to mitigate the impact of these shipping crises and things, but they aren't able to do that completely. So with this catalogue, you might find that there is a few more things than normal on back order. That doesn't mean they're not coming, it just means that you can't get them straight away. So if you've got things on your wish list that aren't in the shop at the moment, they'll be coming back. They're on their way somewhere. They're perhaps stuck at a port, or they can't get the raw materials they need to make it, or lots of other reasons. But they're working very hard to keep that impact down to a minimum. And I have to say that with the launch of this catalogue, there is actually only a very few of things that are not available straight away. There really isn't many. So there may be some sweets that aren't available because the paper perhaps isn't in stock, or the ribbon isn't in stock. But there is actually only a very few things that at the moment aren't available, but they are coming and they will be available. So yeah, be patient, and I think over the coming 12 months there'll be lots of, you know, we've made this, but these are the alternatives if you can't get your hands on that paper or that ribbon. And yeah, just sort of, we shall find ways to carry on creating and carry on being creative, and we shall get through 2022 with any of its hiccups just the same as we got through 2020 and 2021. We are resilient crafters, and yeah, it's never as bad as we think it's going to be. So that's your disclaimer, that, you know, you may go to look on the online store and things aren't in stock, but they are coming and everybody is doing their best. But having said that, that's bad news out of the way. Let's look at the good news. Let's look at what is in this catalogue, and it is beautiful. You've got your list here of all the product suites. So the suites are when you get stamps, normally dies, sometimes punches, papers to match, ribbons to match. You get the whole collection. So you've got 8 different suites that you're going to find within this catalogue, as well as other bundles and other individual stamp sets and things. If we move on, we've got a whole page here talking about kits. We are going to have a new kit coming very soon as it is in stock. It is available now in the US. If you do see a new kit being shown on YouTube videos and things, it is on its way to us and will be available as soon as it is in stock in our warehouse. So that's another new kit that's coming. So let's move through the catalogue, and I will show you some of the things that I have already got and some of the things that are on my wish list. Yeah, just some of the beautiful things. Now, this first kit is called, this first suite is called Sweet Talk. Let me shut this up and then I can show you in a bit more detail. Now, for us here in the UK, I don't know about elsewhere in the world, but this just screams love heart sweets. Look at those, and I don't know whether you can see on there because it's in white text, but these have actually got words on them, on these little, there we are. You are cute, that one says. Just got a light doing a kamikaze off the back. So you've got these beautiful little hearts, some fabulous papers, little envelope dies, lots of really cute things, obviously for Valentine's Day, but also brilliant for other times of the year. Could be weddings, could be engagements, could be anniversaries, could be just I love you. Yeah, we should send some of those occasionally, don't you think? So we have a stamp set, as I say, Sweet Conversations it's called, and you've got these sort of little stamps. You are cute, hug me, BFF, best friend forever, so it could be best friend cards. You've got these little hearts, you've got the noughts and crosses, so the kisses and hugs and kisses and things. Some really pretty stamps with, you know, little elements that you can add into those. You've got dies, so you've got the sweetheart dies. So say you've got this little envelope, you've got these rows of hearts, which mean that that would leave you a border with heart shapes in it, but it will also give you all of these little hearts that are going to die cut out. You've got some more there, you've got some little tiny hearts, bigger hearts that are going to match your stamps. You've got a couple of banners, you've got this tiny banner here and this bigger banner, and then you've got this really cute little envelope. So really sweet for your Valentine goodies, as I say, but well beyond that as well. these are just beautiful, and I don't know how well these are going to show up. These are iridescent rhinestones. They are just beautiful. So a pack of rhinestones in the same configuration as our other rhinestones, but these ones are iridescent. I think those are going to be really quite popular. We have little boxes. The song Little Boxes on the Hillside came into my head then, but these aren't little boxes on the hillside. You can see that you already got tape on there to stick them. These are little boxes. These are going to tuck up here. These are going to tuck in here. Those will tuck in there, and then you've got your flap coming across the top. And obviously you're going to be able to decorate those with papers and die cuts and ribbon and all of those sorts of things, and there'll be a lovely little box for giving little sweetie treats to people. Do you think we'd get a pack of love hearts in there? You never know, we might. But yeah, so those are the little boxes. You've got some really nice red cotton ribbon, which was here just now. Not actually opened mine up yet, but it is like a real red faux linen ribbon. And I get into it. So faux linen, that suggests it's going to be a nice soft ribbon to tie bows and things with. And I always think real red ribbons, it's always good to have red ribbon in your stash. Yes. You can see how linen-y that is. It's sort of see-through. You can see the light shining through it. Really beautiful. And it is going to be great for tying ribbons, for attachments, handles and fastenings on boxes and bags, as well as on the front of cards and things. So a lovely faux linen ribbon. And of course some DSP, because it's a sweet, and where would a sweet be without DSP? And I'm sure that we will find that some of those dies in here are going to match these images just here. That one says text me. This one says best friend forever. This little pink one there that says hug me. That slightly fatter little heart just there. So you see, you're going to be able to cut lots of hearts out of that paper to use on your projects. If you don't want to stamp them, you already got them ready to go there. So really beautiful paper there. This one just says love, ich liebe dich, je t'aime, all of those love words. These are lollipops. So you've got heart lollipops and like sort of Swizzler type lollipops. There's a dotty background, hearts and sweets. So really beautiful, but you can use them for other things other than Valentine's. Would make great birthday papers for children, teenagers. Lots of hearts there. Really lovely stripe, sort of like little splatterings of hearts that are striped and dotty. A nice purpley stripe there. That's quite fun, isn't it? And then rows of hearts. You could cut yourself sort of stripes, borders out of that. That would be lovely. So really lovely papers. So very Valentine-y, but you've got all of those other pastel colours in there as well, which sort of lends them to lots of other occasions. So that is that Sweet Conversations suite. Pop that on the floor because it'll be one less, and then stab myself with my scissors. That'll be one less to be on the side. Got a really nice sentiment set here, and there is also some hearts and an embossing folder there, and it is a hybrid embossing folder. I haven't actually got that, but I've seen some beautiful things done with it, so certainly one to look out for in the future. If you are into gumball machines, then I really have cut my finger. There is a gumball machine just there. It looks like a massacre in here. I've got drops of blood everywhere, and so yeah, you've got a gumball machine there that you can do your outline of your gumball. You've got dies to go with it. If I move this over, you've got the little dies and things that will go with it to create these cute little gumball cards. And you've got frosted bead assortment as well, so an embellishment assortment there. That means that you can actually make little shaker cards, and there are some shaker domes as well, so that you can actually make your shaker cards with your little frosted beads inside. So yeah, if you had one of those as a child and that brings back really good memories, then that would be a good one to get hold of. Really love this one. Nuts and bolts. I'm nuts and bolts about you. There's a HB to you, a happy birthday to you. Greetings, kind human. You make my heart go beep. So really lovely little robot stamp set there. I've been watching over the Christmas period Ron Goes Wrong with the grandchildren, and also the movie Robots. So we had quite a robotic time over Christmas, so that stamp set would go down really quite well, I think, with the grandchildren. Flowering Fields. This suite is absolutely stunning. Now, I have not yet got it in the house, but rest assured it will be coming. It is absolutely beautiful. And I can't think what film I was watching. Watched quite a few films. I think they were watching a Spider-Man film, and there was a scene in this Spider-Man film that looked just like these flowering tulip fields with the windmill. They landed an aeroplane in this tulip field, and I thought, oh my goodness me, that's our stamp set. That must be where the inspiration came from, a Spider-Man film. So you've got two stamps and two sets of stamps and two sets of dies in this one. You've got the flowering tulips, which make up these sort of little 3D tulips, and the stamped tulip images. They're really, really beautiful. And then you've got the tulip fields, which gives you these sort of triangular tulip flowers, and these bits on the side here, which enable you to create these fields of tulips here. And you've got your windmill, you've got your dies as well with your little bike, and you can add a brad to those windmill to the arms on the windmill and have them going round. Also part of this suite is the little brass butterflies. Now I have got those here, so you can see they really are beautiful brass effect. So they are brushed brass butterflies, and they are self-adhesive, so you've got those different sizes of those brass butterflies. They're really lovely. Going to love those on some of our projects. I have got the paper already. I've got all the papers apart from one, and the papers will give you a real sense of how beautiful this suite is. I've already opened these up, perhaps I have on one side and I've just not spotted it because I've got a great big bit of kitchen towel wrapped around my finger to stop blood getting everywhere. So you can see these rows of tulips, and that's the sort of effect that you can get with those stamps. Just gorgeous. And then on this other side we have these greens and blues, really beautiful. Look at that, look at the delicate colours on that. Just so pretty. So very, very pretty. It's a beautiful pack of paper. Again, on the background you've got these sort of background images that are perfect for scrapbooking. And we've got some orange and yellow tulips with a beautiful pattern just there. When you start putting those two together, instantly you've almost got, without too much effort at all, you've got a gorgeous card. We've got a red spot just there, and look at those clouds. How stunning are they? And then we've got rows of tulips going the other way, and a green sort of check background on the back there. But again, wouldn't take very much to create a beautiful card just with your DSP without even adding anything else in. And then we've got some reds and peachy coloured and white tulips on there. And look at that background, sort of a bluey green sky with flashes of peach in your clouds. Just stunning, absolutely stunning papers. So I haven't got the stamps and dies yet. I have got the brass butterflies, I have got the papers, but I haven't either got this lovely window pane check ribbon. How fun is that? So lots of really lovely details in these dies. You've got a little row of tulips just there. You've got this bit that cuts out these holes in your background. I don't know if you can quite pick that up on that sample just there. As I say, you've got fences, these little row of tulips just here. Just an absolutely stunning suite. And so that one is not yet in my craft room, but it will be coming. And then we've got the bigger images of the stamp sets, and we have all the lovely dies that go with it. No one deserves a happier birthday than you. Just gorgeous. So we move away from tulips and into rainbows. Now, we did have a bit of a play with this on one of the lives just before Christmas, probably the last live that I did just before Christmas. We had a bit of a play with this stamp set. So we do have a couple of samples with this. So again, you get the stamp set and you get the dies. Let's see if I can find them. Put those papers down on the floor. Blooms. Can't be far away. Here we are at the back here. So you've got the Rainbow of Happiness stamp set. So you've got the arcs here, and you've got these bits. So this is a curved greetings. You've got this curved dash piece just there. Some really nice sentiments, some sort of shadowy lines for giving it some grounding, some raindrops, some hearts. You make me happy, you make this world a better place. And then we've got the dies as well. So you can, I've seen some really nice shaker cards made with this one where the apertures have been then filled with shaky bits. You've got a really nice rainbow border, a little tag piece just there, and some clouds and this smaller rainbow. So we've obviously cut that smaller rainbow out of that piece and created a background that is showing through just there with some of the clouds on as well. This one is a more pastel-y one. With this one we use the stamps to create our rainbow. We've got that rainbow border going across the top of the card. So really lovely. So that's a Rainbow of Happiness bundle. That's a stamp and die bundle. Now, this isn't a suite. There isn't papers in the mini catalogue, but one of the free Sale-a-Bration items is a pack of Sunshine and Rainbows papers. And I think these are going to be incredibly popular. You can see there sunshines, rainbows, clouds, all sorts of things going on there with those papers. They are absolutely stunning, as I say, and that is one of the freebies in the Sale-a-Bration catalogue. So that is one to get while you can, because it coordinates with this lovely Rainbow of Happiness bundle. It also coordinates, another item we've got on here is a cloud punch, and you will find some of those clouds in this paper that you can punch out, as well as obviously being able to punch clouds out of cardstock or other patterned papers. Just lots of really lovely things that you can punch clouds from and have fun with those. And I'm sure that there'll be lots of other things that people are going to be creating with that cloud punch. Here's a nice little Forest of the Friends stamp set. I've not got this one yet either, but you've got cute little rabbits and foxes, trees, and a deer. And the deer does actually coordinate with the deer punch from that we had in the Christmas catalogue that is carrying over. If we move along, we come to some more cute creatures. We've got the ladybirds. Now, I've not yet got the ladybirds, but this is the Hello Ladybug bundle. So you get all these gorgeous stamp sets, and then you get a punch to match. And you can see that you can create some really gorgeous cards with that. And alongside these, actually, they've actually listed the classic stamping spots assortment, and you can see here that you've got the red and the granny apple green and the daffodil delight in that little one of the 3 of the 8 colors in that little stamping spot set. That's a really good little set to get your hands on if you're starting out, as indeed is this entire bundle. Really cute, really easy to create some beautiful cards very easily without having to have too much equipment. If you've got yourself a little set of the stamping spots, some cardstock to stamp onto, you'd be away. You know, you've got your punch, you've got your stamp, you've got your ink. Away you go. You'd have great fun with those. This is the Wildflower Path. Again, I haven't got this stamp set, but one of my teamies has, and she was sharing some cards earlier that she'd created with it, and they were beautiful. So, you know, use it as backgrounds, get this really watercolor wash type effect with it. That lovely, almost like creating your own DSP. Stunning little stamp set. Yeah, one of those that would easily be overlooked, but don't overlook it because it's sort of 2-step stamps. You can, you know, build up the flowers and the backgrounds and things, and soon be making some stunning cards with that. So yeah, don't overlook that one. Symbols of Fortune. This is a bundle that we will be hopefully featuring later in the year in a stamp camp. We've got a stamp camp coming up, and I will show you the bundle that we're going to be using that at the end of January. Now, the stamp camps is words are failing me. The stamp camp is a joint effort between 12. This upcoming stamp camp is going to be 12 demonstrators from around the world. There's demonstrators from the States, from Canada, from Australia, and from here in the UK, and we all get together. And we get together every month anyway to create a tutorial bundle, and you can find links to all of those on my website. So every month we put together a tutorial bundle, which you can either earn by buying products from me, or you can buy from my website. And the same people that come together to put together that tutorial bundle come together. We're coming together a few times a year to do a stamp camp. So the idea is that you buy the suite of products from us, as I say, and this suite is going to be the one that we feature later in the year, April sort of time. So you buy the suite of products from us, and in return for that, you get the tutorial bundle for free. You also get YouTube videos of us making all of the cards, as well as written instructions for that YouTube for that tutorial bundle. You also get all the cardstock so that you can make and take every card project in that tutorial bundle. And in addition to that, you get added into a Facebook group where over the course of a weekend, we will all come on and do a live creating a separate project using the same bundle, and showing off a few more samples and things as well if we've got them. So you will finish the weekend with access to at least 24 projects. You'll have all the cardstock and things that you need to create 12 of them, and you won't have paid any more than the price of the suite. So really good value, really good fun weekend. Everybody that has been involved in them in the past have thought them to be a really good thing. So do look out for those. I say this one is coming in April. This is the Symbols of Fortune. You've got these lovely sort of cranes and flowers and lovely soft sort of images. You've got some soft succulent ribbon, polished dots. I have got some of the polished dots. Those are here. So really pretty polished dots, some mother of pearl speciality paper, and then speciality DSP. I have got the DSP, so it has got gold foiling on it and is very beautiful. So say you've got these cranes, you've got these soft florals, beautiful gold foiling on there. So that sort of splattery foil background, these beautiful flowers just here. And these sort of peaches and dark greens. Look at that, that's very oriental, isn't it? It'll make a lovely, really oriental feel to it. Got sort of cherry blossom type effect. Cranes flying through the sky upside down, because they're very talented. Yeah, there's another foiled paper there. This is sort of like bamboo-y, isn't it? In this sort of brown, sort of almost Hessian look background. So really unusual papers, really beautiful. So they've got that foiling going all the way through. So that's a really lovely suite. So one to look out for coming up in the future. And there's that stamp set in a bit more closer detail. So you've got the crane, you've got this lovely flower, you've got some dragonflies. And then the dies, you've got this die that cuts out this background image just here. There's also some doilies featured here that are in one of the other suites. So really gorgeous set of projects. Here we've got a Paradise Palms bundle. So you've got your palm trees and your islands, some lovely sort of, you can make some gorgeous backgrounds and scenes. You've got a retirement wishes in there. Hope you find a little paradise wherever you may be. How lovely is that? Here we've got the boughs and blooms. So you've got a really nice punch that sort of punches out these boughs. You've got a couple of different leaf shapes that punch out from that punch, and then you've got this lovely boughs and bloom stamp set just here with these different flower images that enable you to create. There's a wreath being created here. These have been done using the rectangular postage stamp punch. Yeah, so just a really lovely, again, lovely if you're you're just starting out. That would be a fantastic stamp set. Now it's as if the not picking up any light at all on here. It doesn't make any difference, does it, if I actually move those lights? This stamp set obviously was very high on my wish list. The first thing to go down, because look at that duckling. How cute is he? I mean, the bunny is just adorable. So is the little chick, but it's got a duckling on it. So the Easter friends. I was friends with this stamp set right from the word go. Happy Easter. May your days blossom with joy and happiness. Sending warm and happy wishes this spring. My friend, you've got this little grass stamp just here. A standalone stamp set, just beautiful. Fabulous for your Easter projects. Be wonderful for new babies, first birthdays, or just if you happen to run a craft company called Love-a-Duckie. So yes, that one was an absolute must. And there will be a class coming up, a Stamp Stack class coming up using that stamp set later on. Next we have, and I haven't yet got these, although they're on my list, they will be coming, the first of the gardening type themed stamps and dies, and this one is called the Flowering Rains Boots bundle. So you've got the wellies and the watering can and the plant pots, tulips and flowers to go in your plant pots, and then you've got some dies that go with it. just beautiful, beautiful stamp set, and I think is going to be very popular. Yeah, so really lovely. That's the flowery main bundle. As I say, the first, there's a few gardening type ones. This is fun for the children, a lovely kite stamp set. Yes, again, standalone stamp set, but great fun. Would be quite nice for them actually to colour in, for the children to stamp themselves and colour in. Really good fun. Or you could stamp that onto patterned papers. You've got these lovely trails that come down. This one's got bows on, that one's got stars on. Again, you know, brilliant for children of all ages. And looking at some of these, I should imagine that you could start to get quite creative and make patterns. If you could get that one going all the way around in a circle, make quite good spider's web. Yeah, and these would be almost like flower shaped, wouldn't they, if you did lots of them? So yeah, I'm sure there are lots of ways that you can use those and have fun. Now, we were talking about the stamp camps, and I said I would introduce you to the bundle of the sweets that we're going to be using for the first of the stamp camps. And this is it, the Artfully Composed. Another really, really beautiful stamp set. You've got, let's dig that one out. Here we go, right under my nose. You've got the stamp set that's got these two big leaves. You've got all of these little hearts just here. Really nice script on this. Happiest birthday wishes. Thank you. Sending all the hugs. Here. Oh, hey there. Hey there. And then up here, you've got like one of these little scripty stamps that are fabulous in the background, particularly if you're doing sort of more vintagey style cards. So that is the stamp set. Then you've got the dies, and I have used this because I have already done my project for the tutorial bundle. I'm not sharing that with you because that's obviously exclusive, but you've got these different dies that are going to cut out these really lovely big leaves. You've got this little die that's going to cut you out lots of little heart-shaped leaves. You've got this die that will give you this sort of background texture on a project. So a really fun stamp set. And obviously these solid dies, these outline dies here, will cut out the stamped images, and then you've got ones that will do more detailed images that you can build up on top of each other. And you've also got, oh, where's that gone? I must have dropped it off the side. You've also got a zigzaggy border die in there as well. I need to find where that's gone to. So that is the stamp and the dies. So that's the first part of this bundle. On top of that, you get the DSP. You're going to be able to see what DSP I've been using. But yeah, really bright, bold, that's black and white spots. But the prints themselves, you've got these really big, bold, you've got to die cut those images. Really unusual, nice colour palette. Got a bit of petal pink, if I remember right, in there. This one's really nice. So you've got the big bold leaves and things, and then you've got this script going on in the background, which is quite a nice way of hinting at how you could carry on and use these things. This has got like these diamondy shapes in the background that you could recreate with that die. So yeah, just really lovely color palette in there, and really big bold images. So that's the DSP, and you can see the color here: Calypso Coral, Pale Papaya, Pear Pizzazz, Evening Evergreen, Just Jade, Mint Macaron. So lovely color palette. And on top of these coloured papers, we've also got vellum, and it is printed vellum. So we've got sort of this text on here. This one's got like sort of a map on this bit, and obviously these you can die cut, you can tear. So that is black on the vellum. This is similar, so you've got the text on there. Probably not going to quite pick that up, but that is actually white printed on that vellum just there. You've got the same things, you've got a map, but it's white. and you've got some more text just there. So really lovely, these vellums. Going to create lovely background pieces. Going to be able to add in really interesting elements. Now I'm just wondering what I did with my polished stones, because I have used those. Can I see them? Not instantly. No, I can't see them, but we shall be using them as we move along. But you've got these polished stones. They're faux C class, these are called. So they are sort of, they're not a regular shape, and they look like little pieces of glass that you can add to your projects. So you've got these faux glass pieces just there. Got a whole little selection of those. And the ribbon in this set is a white frayed ribbon. And again, I've got a set of that that's open somewhere, but it's really lovely, sort of ribbed, almost grosgrain ribbon texture, but with it's frayed on the edges. So there's quite a lot about that set that's almost, you've got the bright bold colours, but there's elements in it that are really quite sort of vintagey. Yeah, so that you give you almost like a grungy effect. So really lovely suite, and that is the suite that you can buy to purchase to instantly be admitted to the stamp camp, which is happening on the 29th, Saturday the 29th. Pretty well, it starts late at night here for us in the UK on the 28th and finishes in the early hours of the morning on the 30th. But all of those live videos will, once they're in the Facebook group, you're going to be able to go back and watch time and time again. So it doesn't matter if you're not there live. Nobody really is going to be there live for all of them, because we're coming from so many different countries. You know, when they're awake in Australia, we're asleep here, and same with the States. So yeah, we just keep it going all through the day, and you can then go back in and catch up. So it's a lovely weekend of stamping from the comfort of your own home, and you can join in and comment and all of those sorts of things. So artfully composed suite, £84.75. So you pay for the suite, you get all of these things: stamps, dies, ribbons, faux glass pieces, vellum and DSP, and you get at least inspiration for 24 projects using them. So well worth joining in. Dahlia Days, there's another stamp and die bundle there. The dies have got this really big, I don't know whether you can pick that up, really big background die, and you can see it just here on this project. If you have a look on page 35 of your catalogue, you'll find that sample using that background, and this one here has used that background and sort of cut it in half to make those pieces either side on that card. So really lovely dies with these pretty stamps that go with it. So a lovely bundle. This stamp set here, the flowing flowers, I have seen those gorgeous samples made with this. Again, it's a distinctive stamp, really simple. It's a stamp and go. You know, this is just literally using it looks like pale papaya for the flowers, and I don't know, mint macaron for the, or soft succulent for the leaves, just stamped, added a sentiment, away you go. Gorgeous cards. That's been done on the Stamparatus. But yeah, just a really lovely stamp set. And in fact, this sample that's here uses all three of the stamps. So you've got this stamp here, this stamp here, and this stamp here. And then yeah, this one's already got the leaves on it. So yeah, you can just literally ink it up, stamp it, next one, stamp it, away you go. Time for a happy dance. That's a nice one, isn't it? Sending a card instead of a text, like that. So a lovely stamp set. Daffodil Daydream bundle. Now this is an enormous die set. gorgeous daffodils, and you can see from here you can make really beautiful 3D daffodils. Not had a play yet, but we've got the 2 daffodil stamps in there. Nice splattery stamp. You know, I love it. If you've watched me at all, you know I do love a splattery stamp. Got a nice little butterfly. Happy Mother's Day, Easter blessings. It's rather nice twirly whirly border piece just here. This is where I've actually photocopied all of the dies as they came, so that I knew that I'd got them all, because look, there are just loads of parts here, so that you can really build up these daffodils to make beautiful 3D pieces. And you've even got little dragonfly bodies and things, or butterfly bodies. Just a gorgeous set of dies. So I've not yet started playing with these, but look at the detail in those trumpets just there. You've got the leaves and the petals in the background. So really looking forward to having a go at that. So you've got the dies that are going to cut out your stamped images, and then you've got dies to create your own 3D daffodils. So a fabulous set. And particularly, I mean, I don't know how universal daffodils are actually, but for us here in the UK, we do love our daffodils. They're always a sign of spring, of new growth, of, you know, Mother's Day, Easter, all of those things. So really lovely and really useful stamp set. And as I say, those dies are just beautiful. How about going under the sea? Seize the day, with C's as in SEAS. So you've got this really nice frame die in this one, as well as dies that are going to cut out your squid and your octopus and your crab and your fish. You've got some nice seaweedy type dies. So really fun set, a distinctive set. Thanks from the depths of my heart, wishing you oceans of happiness. A really fun set, a really nice seasidey themed set. And while you're on the theme of seaside, here is the ocean front stamp set, and I've seen some beautiful things done with this. So along the lines of this card just here, you know, stamp this, your sky, your sea, your beach, a bit of seaweed and a rock, and away you go. Just beautiful. So yeah, some really beautiful things can be done with that. That's the ocean front stamp set. So one of those really lovely stamp and go, very quickly build up a really lovely scene with those. And then we've got the amazing silhouettes. So amazing silhouettes consists of a stamp set, and you can see this is a stamp set where you stamp the outside, and the negative part makes up your image, if you like. So the grey shaded area is what you stamp, the white area is what isn't stamped. So you are stamping the background and leaving the silhouette, the negative part, to pop out of your project. So really beautiful stamp set. You could obviously then go in and add detail to these if you wanted to, colour them in, you know, all sorts of things that you can do with them once you've done them. You can see some here. They've obviously done like a baby wipe technique in the background here, because you've got a couple of different colours in there. In fact, a couple of those look like they are. This just looks like a watercolour wash type effect on the background there. So really lovely stamp set. And then the dies that go with this are called Amazing Thanks. So you have a background thanks and a detailed thanks. So it creates that shadow effect. You've got amazing, you've got you, and you've got are. So you could have you are amazing. You could cut the S off and have thank you. Yeah, just beautiful. So those are really nice. It's always nice to have some nice big bold sentiment dies, and you can see them there. That's been cut in white with a blue background, and this one has just been cut, and the bottom part of it looks like it's been embossed in gold, and this one is sort of almost tone on tone. The shaded background, the shadow background, as well as the detail stamp in the front. So that's a bundle where you get the silhouettes, and the dies that go with it are sentiment dies. Eden's Garden, you'll have seen this. This was the early release. So obviously the papers and things they're no longer available, but you can still get the stamp set and you can get the beautiful dies. And here we can see them in very different colorways to what we've seen up until now, pastels and bright colors. Yeah, so now we can see that rather than making Christmas cards and things with them, you can be creating birthday cards, wedding cards, all of those sorts of things. Really beautiful. New Horizons Suite. This is one where we can't yet get the papers, and the papers are stunning, absolutely beautiful. So they are like these sort of watercolor wash background papers, just really, really beautiful, and you can create these really fabulous scene cards. So the stamp set that goes with this suite is sort of just fairly simple, really. You've got sort of like this water piece, you've got some bulrushes, you've got birds, little set of trees, and some nice greetings, thinking of you, thanks for everything, breathe, relax and enjoy your day, wishing you so much happiness. The dies then are sort of mountain backgrounds. You've got a little row of beach huts. Again, you've got a piece that's going to cut out this sea bit. You've got a bit of sort of that you can use as land, and you've got these fences that are like the ones that you find at the beach. You know, those sort of I can't think what the proper term is. I'm sure there is one, but you know what I mean. Those sort of woodeny fences that you find along the walkways as you head down to the beach. So gorgeous. The cards and the things that you can make with it when you look at the samples in the catalogue are just absolutely stunning. But there is no doubt that the star of the show is these 6x6 papers, and as yet we can't yet get them. It won't be long, but we can't get them yet. Along with that, you've got a twin pack of cotton ribbons in Misty Moonlight and Petal Pink, and then you've got pebble enamel shapes. So a bit like we had the faux sea glass, these look like little pebbles, and you can imagine would be really lovely nesting along your wooden fence. Groins, thank you, Emma. Yes, they're like groins. See, I knew somebody would be awake. Here we have an eclectic garden. So this is like a really sweet, you've got radishes, it's very eclectic. Radishes, you've got some sort of berries on trees. This looks like an ornamental cabbage of some sort, that's sort of a flower, and then a bird, which are really lovely. Not birds that I think that you would find native here in the UK, but still a really beautiful little stamp set. We have some background stamps, the timeless tiles, and the gentle waves. I think the gentle waves is going to be really useful. Quite a few stamps and things in this catalogue that's going to enable you to create scenes. Then for another suite, this really is, and now for something completely different. This is called Abstract Beauty, and as you can see, really bold designs, bold shapes, very abstract. You know, you can go with it where you will, and in this particular suite you get the bundle, which is this stamp. If I flick the page over, you'll be able to see the stamp in a bit more detail. So you get sort of blobs. I miss your face. First of all, you're amazing. This calls for a celebration. So nice sort of flowers and background sploshes and all those sorts of things to enable you to create lots of patterns. And then in the shapes, you've got sort of all sorts of circles and tiles and all sorts of things that will enable you to create all sorts of different backgrounds. There is some adhesive backed hexagons in here. There is a set of card bases and envelopes if you want to use those to create your own cards. Just add in a few extra elements and away you go. You've got an ephemera pack in here that's got frames and speech bubbles and little bits of foliage and flowers that you could add in. And then you've got a pack of paper, but this pack of paper is a little bit different. And here's why. It is actually a 6x4 pack of paper. It is foiled, it is a speciality pack. But you've got all these pieces that are almost perfectly ready to pop onto the front of a card base. So again, if you're looking to make some really simple, you know, you can make this as complicated as you like, but they would be really simple cards. You wouldn't need to add very much. Particularly like that one, that's very pretty. Gold foiling on. So almost a bit like the Memory and More cards, but as packs of paper. And you get 48 sheets, 4 each of 12 double-sided in there. And as I say, it's a new size. I've never done this size before, but you know, there's quite a movement of love it, chop it. This has been chopped for you, so it's already chopped, ready to go. So you can see, like, this card here has got, I think, one of these background papers, that one there, then a piece of white card on the top, a few splodges splattered on it, and then a circle cut out with Hello Beautiful on, and another piece of this paper cut as a banner, and away you go. So it yeah, I think it's a really fun suite. I think you could have a great deal of fun with that. Great for teenagers. It would be really fun to play with a group of teenagers, I would imagine, if you are getting together with a group of teenagers, because you could make it as masculine or as feminine as you like. It's sort of pattern building, all sorts of things. So a really lovely set, really quite different. So that's the Abstract Beauty. Here we have a Happy and Heartfelt stamp set, which is a sentiment stamp set. There are some quite nice sentiment stamp sets. Just looking, is that the sentiment stamp set that I've got, or is it a different one that I've got? I think it may be a different one. But being awesome is just your thing. Thank you. Heck yeah. I love you. So just really lots of really useful sentiments in there, and it's always good to have some good sentiment sets in your collection. Here we have a set that is concentrated on slim cards, and these sort of slim style cards have been really popular for a little while now. So with this, you've got some nice big bold sentiments that you can use on your slim style cards, and you've also got some dies that you can see here that are going to enable you to cut out some background. So you've got your slim sayings bundle, so your slim sayings stamp set and your slim card dies, and in the dies you get 4 dies in there. So you get these border pieces, and you get these pieces that will cut out either a piece to go on the top, or alternatively you can use the bits that have cut out in between to build up as well. So really lovely. And there is a set of slimline envelopes in the catalogue as well, 15 envelopes that have been printed inside in soft succulent white and smoky slate, 5 each of those colours. If you love your Amazon man or your delivery man, why not make him a card? So there's a nice little best delivery stamp set there, just a little stamp set featuring a lorry and lots of things. Sentimental swirls. This does actually coordinate with the Strawberry Builder punch from the annual catalogue, but you've got little birds and flowers and swirls, 2-step stamping that you can use to create lots and lots of patterns. And this was Million Sales Achiever Sam Hammond. So if you've come across Poodles, Sam Hammond, this was the stamp set that she helped to design for her Million Sales Achievements. Here we have In the Moment. Now, of all the stamp sets that I've got, I've used this one the most. In fact, I don't think I've even got it in front of me. I think it is away on the other side of the craft room, because I did use it again this week. So we've become quite familiar with this artist, and this time she's drawn these 3 ladies, one sitting in the window with her mug, another one it looks as if she's looking out to sea with a glass of wine, and this one is curled up in bed under the duvet with her dog reading a book. You're in my thoughts, you're always so good to others, be good to yourself too. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is relax. So a really gorgeous stamp set. Yeah, As I say, I've used that one a couple of times because I'm sure, like me, you know, lots of people that could be doing with putting their feet up and relax and knowing that it's okay to do that. Here we have the Heart and Home suite. So another suite that has 2 stamp sets and 2 sets of dies. And I do have both of those stamp sets and both of those sets of dies. So really beautiful floral images in the Blessings of Home stamp set, and again some really nice sentiments, and the dies, you've got the dies that will cut out those stamped images, as well as sort of flourishes of flowers and foliage that will go with it. So gorgeous collection of stamp and dies. And this one is the Honey Bee Home, so more flowers, variety of little bees. You're the nicest, stay wonderful, miss you, so glad we're family. And again, we've got the die set here that's got the dies that will cut out those images, some that will complement it, dies to cut out all your bees and extra grass and things in there. So yeah, that's a couple of great stamp sets and die sets. This is the suite that has the doilies in it. It's also got these matte dots, and they're quite useful because they're in black and grey and very vanilla and white. So that selection of black dots, some of these black dots have been used today for eyes on a whale by my grandson, because that's very important. You've got some denim ribbon. Now this denim ribbon you may have seen in catalogues in years past, but it is very useful, particularly for masculine cards, but really feminine as well when you need it to be. So some nice denim ribbon. There's an embossing folder that is the Hive 3D embossing folder, so it looks a bit like honeycomb. You can also get some memory and more cards in this style, and some memories and more cards and envelopes. And then there's some DSP, and the DSP is really lovely because it's quite muted sort of colours, but really pretty for all of that. You've got these lovely floral images and the leaves and the bees on there. I love that cinnamon cider one with the bees. But the backs of all of these papers are all different sort of wood grain type effects. Really useful. You can stamp direct onto it. You can yeah, do all sorts of things. Add dies, use it as a background to your floral dies and things. So really useful pack of paper. And that's the Heart and Home 12 by 12 pack that goes with the Heart and Home Suite collection. And those are those stamps in a bit more detail. A couple of fun little stamps here. I enjoy every chapter of our friendship. That's just a one-off stamp. The world needs more love. Needs more love notes. There we go. That's another just big stamp. You've got the catch you later. You've got these little monkeys and the cat watching the fish. Little quails, I think they are. I'll catch you later. Always here for you. Better together. That's a fun little stamp. Hedgehogs. Got those around somewhere. You've got the Happy Hedgehog stamp set with those 2 little hedgehogs and a bird, a toadstool, a butterfly, nice flower, and you've got the hedgehog punch as well that will go with it. So really cute. So you'll be able to stamp out the whole hedgehog, and then you'd be able to stamp out his prickles in a different colour. You can see just there, build him up or stamp them out in pattern paper, whatever you like. That certainly looks like an embossed. That's an embossed piece of card to do those sprinkles just there. So a lovely little bundle. This is the sentiment stamp set that I've got. This one that is called Celebrating You. I don't know what I've done with it, but you can see that you've got happy birthdays in there. You've got every bit of wonderful. Some of them you can colour in, which is quite useful. Happy Mother's Day, you're on my mind and in my heart. Happy Easter, welcome little one, thank you. So a really useful stamp set for lots and lots of different occasions. At the top here we have the butterflies and flowers layering decorative masks. Now this is one of the first classes I'm doing, one of the first technique classes I'm doing with these masks. So again, slightly different size. They're normally 6 by 6. These are a different size mask, 4.5 by 6 these are. So you've got this leafy background, this sort of florally background. Here's another one that's a florally background. And then you've got two pairs of masks. One seems to have gone walkabout. We've got this one here, where you've got this open flower here, and then this one slightly more covered in, if you like, but they do rest over the top of each other, so you can build up layers of colour. You've got the same with these flowers, and you've got the outline flowers here, so you can lay one colour down there and then come in with the layering mask and add more colour in. And then you've got the butterflies just here. Again, you've got the two different, oh no, I have got all of them here. You've got the two different butterflies. You've got the solid outline and you've got the butterfly that can go over the top. So you can either build up, so here's just a couple of sneaky peeks of a blog post that will be going up. You can build up the layers, or you could do Zentangle in the middle of there, where you could stamp different images in the middle of there. Lots of different things that you could do. So we do have, as I say, a technique class coming up quite soon. That if you can't make it on the day, will be recorded, and you will be able to catch up with it. So if those are something you'd like to learn a bit more about, then do check out for that technique class with those. We've got some cactus cuties just here. Again, another punch, so stamp set and punch to create these cute little cactus cards. We've got these Lucky You sentiment stamps, and these, like our amazing silhouettes, you stamp the background and your greeting stays white or whatever colour your cardstock is. So many thanks, so happy for you, I believe in you, congrats, hooray for you, lucky to know you. So yeah, just this sort of watercolory backgroundy sort of look that leads the sentiment popping out of the center, so just a little bit different. And there's some supple shimmer card there as well. Now the colors on in that picture are not very true to life, so that I will check that. If you want to know a bit more about the colors on this supple shimmer, do ask me and I'll look up. I haven't got it myself, but I know that there was an announcement made that the colors were perhaps not listed right in the catalogue. Hey sports fans, now then, this is possibly quite American in feel in terms of sports fans, but not necessarily. That, you know, you've got the papers, you've got the it does sort of say Grand Slam. You may follow baseball and those sorts of things here in the UK and find that really useful. I do think this little ticket die just here, there's a few little ticket dies, would be quite useful for theatre goers and those sorts of things. So if you didn't want to combine it with the stamps, you wanted to create tickets for other things, that's a really useful little die. Little stars there, number 1. Yeah, there's some really useful dies there, as I say, in the Your Biggest Fan stamp set that goes with it. A nice set of Baker's twine that is around somewhere. So you've got Evening Evergreen, Night of Navy and Poppy Parade / white. So that's a really useful set of twine just there. Again, I've got the papers. Yeah, I'm sure I opened all of these papers. Perhaps I didn't. Perhaps I dreamt that. Or perhaps they've magically done themselves back up again. So you've got these tickets and things, Admit One, ball games, hey there. But then these really nice sort of backgrounds, that's your sort of Night of Navy, wood grain almost. You've got your baseball images there, but then that nice red and white stripe. Then you've got your flags. You could cut those out if you haven't got the dies. And this sort of looks almost like a rounder's ball for us here in the UK, isn't it? Some nice spots. There's a nice sunburst. That would make a good scrapbook page. Some baseball bats, stars, yellow stars, and then a stripe just there. So some really lovely generic papers, as well as those sort of sports themed ones. Also in this suite are these resin stars in lots of different colours. They will be fun in lots of different projects. Another gardening stroke DIY set. Good one for the dads for Father's Day. You've got these lovely stamps here with a step ladder and a shovel and a little hand shovel and some shears and a rake and gloves. And then you've got dies to cut these things out as well. So yeah, great bundle, absolutely great bundle, and one that I think lots of people will find really, really useful. I have got a Saturday Stampers coming up having a garden theme, and I'll talk about those a bit more in a minute, but using some of those. The Brave Vikings, how cute are these? You've got your Vikings and your Viking longboat. I've taken a Viking to you. Happy birthday, you've conquered another year. You're strong and brave. You've got this. Just really fun. I think that's a really fun stamp set. And then back here we've got For the Record. So if you've got any sort of aging DJs in your household, or somebody that's really back into vinyl, I know it's really popular again. Yeah, that's a great little stamp set. Again, standalone stamp set. It does coordinate with the layering circles, so you can stamp your die cut your records. And here's a list of some of the things that have carried over. So the squirrels and the deer and the harvest dies and the timber 3D embossing folder. So that's some of the things that have carried over. In the back here you've got the bundles, so the stamp and die bundles and the stamp and punch bundles, and they have listed them alphabetically this time. So they don't go through by page, they go through by alphabet. So you need to find out, I need the daffodil one, you'll find it after C and before E. You all know how the alphabet works, I'm sure. So yeah, you've got all your bundles there listed. Then you've got your catalogue at a glance. That's all your stamp sets. That's all your dies, your punches, your embossing folders. You've got your treat boxes and masks. You've got all your papers, your different paper things. So cards and envelopes, and memory and more cards. You've got your specialty papers. You've got all your ribbons and all your embellishments. And then come through to the back, and it talks about hosting, and you've got a couple of different host sets at the back. One is this mischievous mice with a little mouse with his balloon, and the mouse in the cheese, and the little mouse with his pencil. And then you've got this expressions of friendship, which is a little girl on a swing. So those are you have to have your stamping rewards. But this stamp set here, for instance, has got a value of £21, but it's yours for £12.50 worth of stamping rewards if you have gained stamping rewards either by putting in a big enough order of £150 or more, or by hosting an event that generates sales of that amount. So that is a quick whistle stop tour of the mini catalogue. Beautiful, beautiful things in there. Lots to keep us busy for the upcoming months. But of course, for January and February, you also have the Sale-a-Bration brochure. Now, I haven't got everything in here yet, only nearly everything in here. So I haven't yet got this little island vibe stamp set, but you've got sort of like these big palmy sort of leaves and a pineapple and what looks like a sort of bonsai plant just there. That's one of your free with a £45 purchase. You can, if you put in an order of £45, you could choose to have the Island Vibe stamp set. You could choose to have the Daffodil Afternoon paper. I've not shown you that. So this paper does coordinate with the Daffodil stamp set and dies, so it's not a suite of its own, but you can get Sale-a-Bration paper, and it really is rather lovely. It's very sort of, I don't know, almost 70s, I think. So it's got that sort of a feel to it, sort of very vintagey, but really gorgeous papers. So this again is another of the items that you could get with a £45 order. Obviously, if you order yourselves the daffodil dream bundle, the stamp set and the dies, they cost £51.25. So you could then add this in as your free item. So you could have your stamp set and your dies and get the paper for free. We have a couple more stamp sets just here. One is catching butterflies. So here we have her little girl with her net. We have a little fluttering of butterflies up there. You make my heart happy. Celebrate every beautiful thing. Collecting sweet thoughts of you. Got a little shady bit just here that could be ground grass. Yeah, so a really sweet little stamp set. That one you can have free with a £45 order. Perhaps you'd rather have some cars driving by. So you've got a camper van there, car with balloons on the back, a sort of Beatley type car with piles of parcels on the top, driving by just to say hi. You've got style or thanks. So that's another of the stamp sets free with a £45 order. We've already looked at the rainbow paper, again free with a £45 order. Another set of paper in the Sale-a-Bration brochure, another one that you could choose. Obviously you can only choose one of these per £45 order. It's one £45 order per freebie. But if you put in a £90 order, you can choose to have two. This is called Simply Marvelous. So you've got these marble papers. So that one's sort of a matte. They're both matte, but that one looks as if it's got almost like a shimmer to it. So you've got all of these different coloured marbly papers that are really rather pretty. Particularly like this bluey one. Adds a nice element to your projects. So that's the Simply Marvelous paper. We also have, as well as ducks, I do have rather a bit of a soft spot for otters. So we have the Awesome Otters. It's birthday time. You are utterly awesome. Look at that. So cute little otters. This one's cuddling a fish. This one's splashing about in the water. This one looks like he's trying to give you a hug. Little party hat. So very cute. Again, free with a £45 order. Now with a £90 order, you have a couple of options. This is the Friendly Hello stamp set and paper. Can't see my stamp set. Must be around somewhere because I have the paper. I think I'd put it to one side actually with the intention of doing something with it. Can I see it? Not off the top of my head. I'll have to go on a hunt for it. But the stamp set, you've got these floral images. And you've got this little bird just here sitting on his florally tree. You've got some smaller floral images, some leaves and foliage. Then you've got hello friend, hope you have the best birthday, you have my love and support. So gorgeous little stamp set. And then you've got these beautiful papers that go with it. So you get both of these with a £90 order. Pretty. So obviously picking out those designs in that stamp set. If you look at this one just here, and probably some of the others, you can use the stamps in the stamp set to over stamp on these images. Don't know whether there's one, so you can see on this sample just here, can you see how they've taken that green paper and they've over stamped? I mean, you could do that with embossing powder. I've seen somebody do that and make the it's sort of gold embossed background, but beautiful papers. There's a little bird sitting there amongst those flowers. So that's paper, and the stamp set that goes with it are free with a £90 order. The other free with a £90 order is this Special Moments sentiment stamp set. So you've got with sympathy, happy birthday, congratulations, good luck, where would I be without a friend like you, I have something for you, best wishes, lots and lots of different sentiments in there, 21 different stamps in there. So really, really useful little stamp set. Obviously lots of stamps in there, so that again is free with a £90 order. But as I say, if you put in a big order, if you put in a £90 order, you can choose whether you're going to choose one thing that you can have for £90 or whether you're going to choose two things for £45. That's entirely up to you. The other things that we've got in here is the Calming Camellia stamp set, which is just stunning. And this stamp set you can get if you host an event of some sort, and events can look like lots of different things, but if you host an event that generates sales of £275 or more, you get this on top of all your stamping rewards. So not instead of, but on top of. So for a £275 order, you would get at least £27.50 in stamping rewards, probably more, plus that stamp set, which is a beautiful stamp set. So yeah, that is the host reward. And then, as always, there is always an incentive to join the family if you ever needed an incentive to join the family. And during this celebration, your starter kit is at £99 as normal. You get £130 worth of product of your choice as normal, but in addition to that, you can choose any 2 stamp sets from either the annual catalogue or the mini catalogue. So you can choose which 2 stamp sets you would like, and you can add those in. I've not yet gone through, I normally, and I will do at some point for you, go through and see which are the 2 most expensive, because that's always useful to know, because that would tell you what would be the most that you could get free. I'm just thinking, I've missed a page somewhere. I missed the little bear. He's so cute. And the wolf and the owl and the setting sail. How did I miss them? I just saw him on here and I thought, oh, I don't remember seeing him as we flicked through. So yes, so I will go out through and work that out for you, which are the most expensive stamp sets, what your biggest reduction could look like. But if you're talking about sort of £22 stamp set, you know, that's £44. Let's just have a little flick. So your Blessings of Home is £24. So if you had 2 like that, that would be nearly £50 worth of stamp set for free, wouldn't it? Yeah, they really vary. So some are £17, £21. But go through, if you were thinking about joining, pick out the £130 worth of things that you would like, and then go through your wish list of stamp sets and pick out the 2 most expensive, and those are the 2 to add to your bundle, because you want to make as much value out of it as you possibly can. Why not? So yeah, as always, the starter kit is always incredible value, and this time of the year during celebration it's always even more value. So goodness me, I've got a sore throat now after doing all of that. So lots and lots of really, really beautiful products, all just waiting for you to put them in your basket. I have put a bit of a blog post up today, sort of giving you a bit of a, you know, check out the catalogue here. Check out this is what you get for celebration, and these are my upcoming classes. So all of my upcoming classes, all of my classes for 2022 are scheduled in a outline class schedule. So I have put dates in for every class up until December next year. Obviously I've not filled out the details for that, because when we get to see the annual catalogue, we'll fill in more details. When we get to see the July to December catalogue, we shall fill in more details. But I have put a skeleton calendar together of dates that I am hoping to be able to run classes. Included in that are a monthly stamp stack, a monthly technique class. Each month there will either be a stamp camp, a card buffet type Saturday Stampers class, or an all-day retreat. And I have scheduled in 2 all-day retreats for this year. One is in June and one is in October. So if you're not really able to join us during the, let's come up here and let's do our ghostly images. If you're not able to join me in the week for a class but would really love to come along and do some crafting with me, then there are Saturday things going to be available. So as I say, January's will be a stamp camp. All being well, as long as nothing is set in stone at the moment, it doesn't look like we're going to go into any more lockdowns or any more restrictions in terms of what we can do. As long as that remains, then February and March will be Saturday Stampers classes that are going to be 10 till 3, and they're going to be held locally at Great Donington Memorial Hall here. And the first one will be looking at rainbows and daffodils, so we'll be playing with those stamp sets and those papers and things. The second one will have a garden theme, so we'll be looking at some of those gardening stamp sets and dies and things. April will be another stamp camp, and that's the one where we're going to hopefully be doing that Symbols of Fortune suite. May will be another Saturday Stampers at Great Donington. June will be a retreat, and so we will go on through the year. It will either be a stamp camp, which you'll do from home. It will be a Saturday Stampers that will be available from Great Donington from 10 till 3, or an all-day craft retreat that are happening at Wadnow Village Hall next to the river, in that beautiful hall, where it'll be literally all day from 9:30 in the morning to about 8:30 in the evening. Come along, be fed, craft, have a lovely time with us. They've been really popular in the past, so hopefully some of you will be able to come and join us for those. As I say, that's June and October. So I will put a link with this video of where you can see my outline schedule for the entire year, so you can get those dates in the diary. Check out my website, where you'll find the classes that are already available to book. You'll find the links to be able to book them. There's some games nights going on. They're scheduled throughout the year, and sometime, I think July, I'm planning a crafternoon tea event. So lots happening in 2022. On top of that, if you want to put a private class, if you'd like to get together and do some kits, whatever you fancy doing, then get in touch. I would love to be helping all of you. We've just launched a new campaign about Share Your Moment. I would love to be part of sharing your crafty moments throughout 2022. I think it must be time to go and put our feet up. It's been a long day playing with lots of toys. I've still got toys to go and put away. I hope you've enjoyed that sort of whiz through the catalogues and that taste of the beautiful products there are in there, and we will be playing with lots of them in the days to come. So do make sure you come back and join me for my regular lives. If you can't join me live, then do watch on catch up, either on my Facebook page or on YouTube. So you can subscribe to YouTube, make sure you don't miss any, and thank you for joining me. Say Happy New Year, and I will see you all very soon to do some crafting with some of those gorgeous